Veronica's eyes turned a deep crimson, filled with raw hatred. She shouted that she'd been pushed into this, her voice carrying across the battlefield. Without holding back, she activated a forbidden technique, heretical summoning, calling upon Urim, an ancient ruler. Moments later, something massive answered. Urim emerged from the void, so enormous it swallowed the sky in shadow. The moment Urim appeared, the undead Pope's assault fell apart. He couldn't keep fighting anymore. He dropped to his knees, using both hands to steady himself on the ground. Around him, the radiant flames that once surrounded the monster army disappeared, but by then, it didn't matter. Every monster had already been reduced to nothing but skeletons. With his last strength, the undead Pope shouted in anger, calling them mad creatures and warning that the world would eventually be destroyed by their own actions. Then his tone shifted, and he begged his god to save humanity. His desperate voice echoed through the battlefield, mixing with the dust and smoke rising into the air. Veronica watched in silence, thinking that all of this had started because of the Pope's own mistakes, which had drawn the attention of those heretical elder beings. Behind her, the crack in space slowly closed, ending the summoning at last. The cost, however, was heavy. Veronica could feel all her strength draining away. She leaned on her staff, barely standing, and told Abito to take her away from the battlefield. Abito quickly stepped in to support her, reassuring her that everything was fine now. She said they had already won and promised to bring her back to the demon castle right away. She added, in a softer tone, that the three of them, her, Veronica, and Alice, would finally live peacefully together. Veronica looked out over the ruined battlefield, quietly reflecting that after decades of struggle, even something as powerful as the church had ultimately fallen to monsters. Just then, a voice broke the moment. It called out to the Queen of Bones, Veronica, congratulating her on such an impressive victory, followed by a light, mocking laugh. Both Veronica and Abito turned toward the sound at the same time. Linton Tion stood there, leading a massive army of goblins. For a brief second, Veronica looked caught off guard, but she quickly steadied herself. She questioned how he had already recovered from his injuries and where such a large goblin force had come from. Linton Tion answered calmly, saying his injuries had never been serious to begin with. As for the goblins, he explained they were all his loyal subordinates. That answer shook Veronica again. She couldn't figure out how he had managed to gather so many powerful goblin leaders. Abito, on the other hand, didn't hide her hostility. She fixed her gaze on Linton Tion and said there was no point in talking any further. With so many goblin leaders present, she suggested they should just eliminate him and turn the goblins into servants of the Great Tomb. Linton Tion responded with a faint, teasing smile, asking if she was really certain about trying to kill him. Inside, he mocked them, thinking that the demon had finally revealed her true side and that he'd make sure she regretted ever showing up in this world. Abito didn't hold back. Driven by anger, she rushed forward to prove her strength. Her sharp tail whipped through the air in a fierce arc, aiming straight at Linton Tion, and a burst of crimson energy flared the moment it struck. Abito's eyes went wide when her attack stopped mid-strike. A second later, pain hit her, and she realized her tail had been hurt in the clash. She quickly demanded to know what Linton Tion had used to block her. Veronica spoke up, warning her that Linton Tion was wearing world-class armor. That only made Abito more irritated. She couldn't accept that someone she saw as a mere goblin could have equipment like that. Without wasting time, she summoned her weapon and decided to use her strongest charm technique. Pink, glowing hearts began to appear all around, filling the space and wrapping Linton Tion inside a strange, dreamlike field. Abito moved in fast, completely sure that no man could resist what she had just unleashed. Linton Tion didn't react. He stood there quietly, giving the impression that he had already fallen under her control. Seeing that, Abito got closer, convinced the fight was already over. But right when she let her guard slip, Linton Tion suddenly moved. He called out his weapon and swung his spear, creating a powerful swirl of energy that pushed her attack aside. Obito was caught off guard as her technique failed right in front of her. Linton Tion didn't give her time to recover. He activated the lightning ability of his weapon, and a bolt came crashing down onto her. Obito cried out as the flash of light swallowed her, and the impact sent her flying across the field. She hit the ground hard and couldn't get back up. Linton Tion looked at her calmly and said he had no interest in that kind of trick. He explained that during his time in the Dwarf Kingdom, he had already been exposed to plenty, so effects like that didn't work on him anymore. Veronica watched all of this, clearly surprised that such a strong charm spell had no effect on him. Still, she believed he had picked the wrong opponent this time. Without hesitation, she activated her own magic. A glowing red circle spread beneath her feet as she cast a super-tier summoning spell. In an instant, hundreds of undead knights appeared, each around level 95, fully armed and ready. Their combined strength formed a massive force prepared to crush anything in front of them. Linton Tion took one look and immediately gave orders. He told his subordinates to spread out and use their magic tools to wear the enemy down. Both sides moved at the same time, and the grassland quickly turned into a chaotic battlefield. The Goblin army, equipped with world-class weapons, started gaining the advantage almost right away. Every strike cut down groups of undead knights, especially when the Demon Lord-level goblins stepped in. With weapons like those, their power became even more overwhelming. Watching the fight unfold, Veronica started to realize she had misjudged Linton Tion. It became clear to her that he had been building his strength in secret, waiting for the right moment. By letting the church and the Great Tomb clash, he had set things up to gain the most out of the situation. Knowing the battle wouldn't go in her favor if it dragged on, Veronica took out a bateau and chose to withdraw. A purple portal opened, and she disappeared through it, leaving Linton Tion standing on the battlefield as it closed behind her. One of his subordinates asked if they should chase after her right away, but Linton Tion shook his head. He said it was already too late. By the time they reached the tomb, Veronica would have recovered enough to fight again. At that moment, the Holy Mother approached him and offered her help. Linton Tion looked at her carefully and asked what she could actually do. Holding the Holy Grail close, she spoke with a steady voice and proposed a deal. She said she could use the artifact to locate Veronica and send Linton Tion straight to the Great Tomb. In return, she wanted him to eliminate Veronica so the souls of the fallen from the church could finally rest. As she spoke, a system panel appeared in front of him, showing her details. Kaisadv, a level 99 Holy Mother of Light. Despite her titles and defensive abilities, her direct combat power was surprisingly low, clearly focused on support and healing instead. Linton Tion studied the information for a moment, then let out a small, confident smile. He said he never planned on letting his enemies walk away anyway. Now that he had a way to track them down, there was no reason to hold back. The Holy Mother warned him that the Holy Grail only had enough energy left for a single teleport. If it failed, there wouldn't be another chance. Linton Tion didn't seem concerned. He simply told her to use the magic and send them to the Great Tomb right away.